Now, first of all, nobody's going to make me believe that the consumption of a beer impaired his ability to operate a motor vehicle. So we're going to go back. We're going to dial it back. Otherwise, I'm not going to accept this plea.
Welcome to What Had Happened Was.
Where we take a peek into actual court cases and give you commentary based on our unique perspective and experiences, and also give you informational tips and tricks to help you avoid a what had happened situation.
Before we get started, give us a thumbs up, a tasteful comment, subscribe to the channel to be notified of every video as they come out.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Yes, I do.
You may put your hand down. Who's going to voir dire Mr. Hunt with respect to the factual basis?
I can't judge if that's okay with the court and defense counsel.
I said, yes, sir, fine with me.
You may.
Thank you. Mr. Hunt, on June 17, 2022, were you operating a motor vehicle on northbound M10 Service Drive and West Grand Boulevard?
Yes, I was.
Is that the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Is that the county of Wayne?
Yes.
And while operating a motor vehicle on North M10 Service Drive, strike that. Prior to operating a motor vehicle, did you consume any alcohol?
Yes.
And
Not-
did the consumption?
Before I was driving, I did consume a beer at the bar. Yes.
Today we're in Michigan at Judge Bryant's court in the 36th
The
District.
Honorable Judge
I'm
Bryant.
sorry, the Honorable Judge Elenice Bryant in the 36th District Court, presiding over a DWI case. He wants us to believe he got drunk off of one drink at the bar.
Okay, and did the consumption of that beer impair your ability to safely operate that motor vehicle?
Yes.
Mr. Moore, you cannot answer for your client.
And as we see, the trial just went left at the first statement right out the gate.
Who do these two remind you of? Let's just all think back to a nice little place, nice little street. Who do they remind you of?
Now, first of all, nobody's going to make me believe that the consumption of a beer impaired his ability to operate a motor vehicle. So we're going to go back. We're going to dial it back. Otherwise, I'm not going to accept this plea.
She already has one eyebrow up going, no. And he's sitting there like he's dead straight, like, yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
And we're going to either tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And if that is the truth, because it's possible that it's the truth, that he drank one beer. Okay, listen to it's possible that it's true that he drank a beer, but it's not possible that that beer impaired his ability to operate a motor vehicle. Now,
Because I'm quite sure what's running through her head is all the case laws and all the facts and everything like that, which we're going to include in here about blood alcohol content and all these other things. And she's sitting there running through her head about how many times people have been pulled over, the numbers that they've had to have.
And how about just the fact that, and nowhere in the known Western free world or in this universe is it possible that a person's gotten drunk
Off of one beer.
off of one drink, that his ability, he's a DWI off of one drink. That
And
is
she's
not
sitting
humanly
there saying,
possible.
because she's
Not
like,
without other conditions.
something else is going on. Something else
It
got
has
to
to
be
be.
going on.
I'm sorry, one beer,
One
not one
beer.
drink, one beer.
let's go back again. What did he have to drink before he operated the motor vehicle?
I had a beer. I was at the bar watching the game.
All right.
Beer?
I'm not gonna accept I'm not gonna accept the
Ma'am,
plea.
Your
Sir,
Honor,
I need you to let me do my job.
okay.
I'm not gonna accept the plea. I need discovery to be sent over to Mr. Moore. I need to see what his alleged blood alcohol was.
See how she keeps asking him over and over again,
She's getting him enough rope to hang himself. He
and
hung
she
himself.
keeps saying because she's saying something is wrong. So maybe he has he might have something going on in his body or whatever that's making the
Or maybe
alcohol
he's just
process,
confused in his
or
answers,
he's confused in his
something.
answer,
But
or he thinks it's not that serious or whatever. But she's sitting there saying to herself, you know, this could change case law across America.
right now, he's clueless as to what he's just done. He's actually clueless to what he's just
He's
done.
not really thinking
He's
about
not
it at
thinking
all.
about what he
And
said
his lawyer is
or his
not even.
answer.
He should have been got an elbow on the ribs.
You know, and he's not realizing that I'm pretty sure we're going into perjury over here. I already see it coming. You can see this one a mile away.
After he consumed the beer, and then we're gonna look into it from that perspective. Because I've never in the history of my life known a person to be impaired after consuming a beer. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Wait,
That's-
Let me
Can I-
tell you this, sir. Don't keep talking to me.
Okay,
yeah, I have that discovery, and I reviewed with them that the results were 0.166.
Well, then, if that's the case, then your client is lying on my record.
But then bet no money. I would have hit. Talking perjury. He just lying on the record. That's called perjured statements. That's perjured testimony. We're in open court. This is the trial. She's presiding over it. He just perjured himself.
You know what this reminds me of? You ever seen like two cousins, and like one is like book smart and the other one is kind of like always in trouble, and like the grandmother's always sending like the book smart one, go talk to your cousin and go down there and get him out of trouble. And then he's trying to tell her, you know, while they like driving home, and he's telling him, and then he's dead
book smart,
straight telling his cousin the story, and the cousin knows that everything he's saying is a lie. And he's got to go back and tell his grandmother this whole lie and try to work around it.
Yeah.
So let's be clear.
okay.
If that was his blood alcohol level, then your client, under oath, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. If that is his blood alcohol level, then your client is not telling the truth on my record.
Everybody that's on the camera, whether you realize it or not, everybody's sitting there saying, he had one drink, just one beer.
This is an episode of
just
Amazing
one
Tales.
So then he's sitting there saying that, oh, this is setting precedent. I'm quite sure
It
that
is.
somebody,
This is going to take.
somebody sitting
This
there
is
going,
case law being
well, what
established
happens if they try to say what could change your
It's
blood
not
alcohol level,
possible
everything.
for you to have 1.5
One beer.
1.15
One beer and blow that.
blood alcohol content off of one beer. That's
beer.
again not even in anywhere in the known dimensions is this possible.
Something has got to be going on inside of your body, and in the space-time continuum that changes.
That's the only way it can happen.
Components of alcohol in your body.
If he has a condition, that's the only way it can happen. Is he had to have some sort of a condition, and that one drink did that. Other than that, it's not possible.
Which case,
Your Honor, I'm going to say this. Okay.
I don't understand why there's conversation with me and your client while I'm trying to take a plea. That's what I don't understand. Now, the question was asked, what did he have to drink? Your client said he had one beer. So either there's something, the math isn't mathing. Something is not right. And I'm not going to just take a plea for the sake of taking a plea. Either he's guilty or he's not guilty. But if he's not guilty, then I'm not taking a plea. We're not, no.
Sure. Well, that's fine. I talked to you.
So do we want to go back to what did we have to drink? I mean, I don't know.
Yes. Tell me yes.
He said yes. You got to tell her what you had to drink.
Okay. I had more than one beer, Your Honor.
You see? You a liar. Lying. Oh,
Perjury.
lying, just lying. And every time, I only had one beer. Only had one beer.
Yeah, and well, now it's been obviously it's now more than one beer. Way
All he
more
had
than
to
one
do
beer.
was say, because she's sitting there saying, you serious? Telling me you only had one beer and this is what happened to
She
you?
gave him every opportunity to correct himself on his own, and he didn't, and she had to then drop the hammer on him, get him to do it. That does not look good for him.
Ms. Ritter, you can continue.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Hunt, and did the consumption of those alcoholic beverages impair your ability to safely operate a motor vehicle on that day?
Yes,
And Judge, for purposes of the plea, the people stipulate to the blood alcohol content of 0.16, and with that, the people are satisfied.
I'm also satisfied, Your Honor.
Let me tell you all something. If I'm not serious about anything, I'm serious about two things. One of them, they don't let me discuss in my judicial role. That's my number one thing that I care about. The thing that they tell me that I have to separate. The second thing is I take this job, this courtroom, and this process seriously. Now, what I could do is have Mr. Hunt charged with perjury, but I won't because maybe he was a little confused. But what?
Did somebody say the word mercy? And because guess what?
Right, because she's sitting there
Perjury
thinking this
is
poor
that's
man
no
is going
joke.
through, he got some, because I'm saying to myself, if somebody told me they had one beer and they blew up one, was it?
It's not
What's the number?
0.15.
0.15, which means
means
what?
15% of your blood is alcohol. 15%.
I'm sitting there saying, oh my goodness, maybe he got something wrong with him. Maybe he's sick. Maybe something's going on with him.
Blood thinners or something.
Like he's on some, maybe he's on a medication. Maybe the medication is that
But
even if he has one beer,
he perjured himself.
but he's sitting there.
And perjury means that's an instant go. That's like Monopoly. Go straight to jail.
Liar!
What we know is that he lied today on my record under oath. What we know is, looking at Mr. Hunt, a child could drink a beer and not have a 0.16 blood alcohol.
Here's some statistics on blood alcohol content, because she's going into it now. Because the bottom line is, guess what? All he did, if they had to do an investigation on his statements, they might recall a problem with case law and precedents. That's the whole thing.
You know how many people?
That's how laws are
You know how many
established.
people would get judgments overturned based on that if they found that he
can get drunk. He can blow 1.5 off of one beer. 1.
They had a
5.
whole test. They had these people go down to the police department. I forgot what state it is. It doesn't matter. But you can look it up. That's what y'all can do. And they have people come down and they ask them what type of alcohol they consume, and they have them all sit at a table. So if you drink rum, they have rum. You drink vodka, and they sit there and they have everybody, and every hour they sit there and they have them blow into the thing to see what their blood alcohol level. And before they start the test, they weigh them. And they make sure they have had no alcohol to begin with. And they sit there every hour to see how impaired they are. They send them all home in a Uber.
Yeah,
You cannot drive.
You cannot drive.
They don't let you drive home or whatever. But it's like a little, they do it like that. And they pay them to do it.
Yeah.
Because then they submit that information in.
As you look at the screen, you see the facts on alcohol and blood alcohol content.
We're not even talking about a 0.06. We're not talking about a 0.08, barely the legal limit. You sitting up here telling me it's a 1 in front of his number, and he got on my record under oath and said all I had to drink was a beer. That's insulting to the court. Your credibility is shot. And it's clear to me that at somewhere in your life, you living in a denial. You living in a denial somewhere. Now, I don't know if you drank a beer and the glass was as tall as you. But if you're going to tell me you blew up, what was the blood alcohol?
0.16.
You blew a 0.16 after you drank a beer. You shouldn't drink nothing else in your entire life, because clearly your body processes the alcohol different than everybody else's body that's alive.
Understood, yeah. I didn't do a good enough job prepping him.
You don't have to prep somebody to tell the truth. You don't have to prep somebody to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You don't have to prep them. You don't
I
have
should have
to
been more emphatic, man.
You should have, but he should not have lied.
I
Don't
feel
come
like
on
he
here
did.
lying. Don't come on my court lying. Don't come on here lying. All right, court is satisfied with the factual basis as well, and I will accept a guilty plea to 1 count of operating while visibly impaired.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The court is going to set the matter for sentencing. Mr. Flanagan, November 15th. How do I look?
Just 4 matters.
Court is going to set the matter for sentencing November the 15th. At 9:00 a.m. Sentencing is going to be in person.
Understood.
Put it on my docket, Mr. Flanagan, for 9:02.
Okay.
Prior to the sentencing, Mr. Hunt must submit to a pre-sentence investigation and a substance abuse evaluation through the probation department. Probation is going to contact you by telephone. If they cannot reach you, they're
I don't know if you heard what she just said. She said sentencing will be in person. Yeah, because of the fact that there's a good chance he's going to might not be going out that courtroom when he goes in, because
And they probably gonna test his blood. They're gonna probably make him blow into the thing to see what he's like that day too.
you never know. Because right now, like I said, he has heard the testimony. He's a complete liar in court,
Him and his cousin.
and she just accepted his guilty plea. So
He'd have been better off saying he was guilty from the beginning. Say, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I had more than one drink. I didn't understand the gravity of the situation.
yeah, I get it. But sometimes people don't think like that in the moment because they get emotions and they're worried about the hammer dropping on them, but they turn around and drop the hammer on themselves.
And his lawyer / cousin / brother / whatever should have sat there and said, we need a moment.
going to leave you a message and mail you a letter directing you to contact them. You must submit to the pre-sentence investigation prior to your sentencing so that I can have a proper pre-sentence investigation on the day of your sentencing. Bond will continue with no drinking and no driving without a valid license.
Thanks for watching.
And also give us a thumbs up, like, comment, share. Subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified of every video as they come up. And get that algorithm going and help us build this channel in 2024.
And make sure that you don't wind up in a what had happened situation.